When worst comes to worst, my peoples come first. Uh, yeah. I said, when worst comes to worst, my peoples come first. Uh, Come on. What? I said, worst comes to worst, my peoples come first. Da-na-na-na. Yup. Telling you, man, it's the Dilated People's episode. You know what I'm saying? When worst comes to worst, it's always family first. You know what I'm saying? When that, yo, look, worst comes to worst, my peoples come first. Man, it's about that time. Late ill kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people? Today, all year, coming with another wonderful episode of On Screen, doing our thing, holding it down. That's right, with Nerd Soul. And big shout out to the Geek Fine Artist sponsored wall behind me because Dave Farrar is so dope. So, my question to you is, how do you like this Earth Crisis episode as it ties into everything else? Are you feeling Black Lightning being tied in, or do you think that this was a wasted episode? That's my question to you. How you feeling? That's my first question of many to you. So welcome, thank you for coming through. I got a couple shout outs. Big shout out to Thought Crimes. Big shout out to Blurtish doing their thing. Big shout out to the Schmodown with their fan event this weekend. Their like WrestleMania event was crazy. Also, big shout out to Arcatron and his new album, The Space Bridge. Check it out. It's super dope. And your boys on there. So we got in the chat, we got Corey Toombs in the chat. We got Siam Krishan. I hope I'm not screwing up your name. But yeah, I'm definitely not trying to screw up your name. But Siam, I think. So Siam, Corey in the chat. Big shout out to y'all. Thanks for coming through. Thank you for hitting that thumbs up. If you hit that thumbs down, then I'm gonna send Odell after you. And you don't want that. Just saying, you don't want that. You don't want that drama. Speaking of drama, okay, we had an episode of Ghost of Christmas Past, Christmas Present, Christmas Future. You know what I'm saying? And they did it with the whole Earth Crisis tie-in. Do you think it was worth it? My question: do you think it was worth it? For me, this seemed like the crisis actually slowed us down from where we were going in the story. Now, with that said, I do like the fact that we have Jen kind of confronting the different versions of herself, like I said, Christmas past and Ghost of Christmas Future or whatever. Um, and unfortunately, the youngest member of the family is the one asking the questions at the beginning of the episode, like, yo, why ain't I with my dad? Or why aren't we talking? Or I need to talk to my sister or tell my sister this or whatever. Honestly, there should have been a conversation with the family after Jefferson was beat at the school. Straight up. That should have happened then. Now, as you can hear in the streets, they coming after your boy, so don't worry about that. We ain't in Freeland, we in LA. And shouts out to Nicholas Kelly in the house. What up, what up? Thanks for coming through. Nice to see your son, shiny face here on Late Night Live. So, Ghost Christmas Past, Present, Future. You feeling it? You know what I'm saying? You see they coming for me. They ain't feeling me right now. You can hear it. See what I'm saying? See? They ain't feeling it. They ain't happy that they got Markovians. They got their ASA all out for me right now. This episode could have been handled. First, an episode like this could have been handled like 2 episodes ago. Also, we did not need this tie-in to do this. It just seemed like we could have. It's weird when I first found out that this show would not be tied into Arrowverse. I was thinking, yo, man, that's whack. Why you ain't going to include, the Black show and with everything else? But after this show started, I was like, you know what? No, I don't want to be involved in that. Now they're trying to fold it in because, that's just how it is. And the crisis actually slowed, it seemed like this season down and kind of halted any progress that we could have gotten. Now, we did get some progress to a certain degree, which I'll talk to, but most of it was character building around Jin that I did enjoy. It's just that I feel like the episode itself was halted, and this stuff with Jin could have been handled without doing a tie-in. Shout out to Corey Toom says, I enjoy it as a more of a standalone, like a tease of Black Lightning could be if they did start tapping more into the superpower aspect. And Corey says, at the same time, they kept Jen away from the family fighting for so long that I guess we have to make her official, hero induction dramatic. And Siam said it felt rushed. It did seem like we kind of like skipped along and got kind of like, just got these things done because it's a tie-in and we have to get it done. So I will get back on Jen in a second, but I do like the fact that we dealt with a lot of character issues and a lot of realizations from her that I think maybe would have taken longer if we weren't rushed in this episode. But I think there are also things that she should have been learning during last and this season. So I don't think this episode was necessarily needed, but maybe seeing her different choices and how they played out logically, hey, whatever. I want to talk about the rebellion in general, or the resistance, or the whatever they want to call themselves. They're making some big moves. They're kicking up dust, making waves. What now? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do they do when they still are up against the government and also up against a message nationally that what's going on here is false, it's fake news, and it's just liberal anti-vaxxers. You know what I'm saying? How do they fight back? How do they make a true mark? And I think they answer that by hating the headquarters. And it was a good move, man. Gamby coming in, giving them the, Henderson stepping in, the passer stepping in, Black Lightning doing his thing. I think hitting the headquarters and leaving them only one place left, which is the pit, is a strong move against the ASA. And I think the ASA is finally on its heels a little bit to the point where they have to like reach out and try to like activate the metas to get them to fight for them, which I don't think is going to work out the way they think it will, because I'm pretty sure Tobias has some ideas in mind for that. But I do like the fact that the rebellion is pushing back, and we're seeing some actual progress on their side. They've been getting their butts kicked for about 7-8 episodes. It's time for the tide to start to shift just a little bit. Also, it's time to see the mentality, at least in one of the family members. We've seen Thunder, or we've seen Anissa and Jefferson kind of come together. We've seen Jen start to turn around, especially with seeing the two different versions of herself turn around, and she's probably going to come back to her father and her family. And the last member is just going to be Lynn out there looking like the odd man out, looking stupid. Big shout out to Nicholas Kelly saying, I'm now wondering, when is someone in this family finally going to read Lynn for filth? Because she seriously has been getting on my last nerve for the whole season, for a whole season and a half. You ain't alone, you are not alone. Lynn, Hollywood has an issue with not really making at least lead women kind of pay for their consequences or whatever, or their decisions. So it might be a situation where like, we forgive you. It's like, I mean, even stuff in like another medium, like look at How to Train Your Dragon 2. And they find out that the mom is still alive. And like she just allowed them to think she was dead and grieved her and everything. She was just kicking it with dragons. And then when she came back, nobody ever called her out for that. They were just like, hey, we're glad you're back. And that's it. And like, I'm like, yo, if this was a man, but anyway, forget that. Lynn, I don't know, man. She has a drug problem now. She's definitely on that ASA Kool-Aid. It might be Gamby that calls her out because can't nobody tell her nothing. And I think Gamby might be the one to be like, look, all right, you bugging. I see you making drugs. You up in here cooking meth. You know what I'm saying? I see what you're doing, and you're wrong, and you're dirty, and you got to go down. You got to pay for that. You got to own up to your stuff, especially all the crap she talks to Jefferson about his decisions, about owning up in this. Yo, straight up, he got he yo, he bet not let her slide on this. With that said, Nicholas says low key Earth One Jen was dragging how Arlen is currently acting. um, Ventar Madness, big shout out. Thanks for coming through. Ventar says, I personally enjoyed the episode and Jennifer's little arc talking to other universe Jennifer's. Yeah, the only thing I don't like about it is that I feel like we had to stop the show for the Crisis tie-in for something that Jen could have realized on her own. But I mean, I guess this is the best they could do with the tie-in. But I feel like this is something that didn't need a tie-in to do. When you do a tie-in, it should be a huge thing, right? And her coming to a realization that she's been manipulated, that she's young, and that she don't know everything, you don't need a tie-in for that. Big shout out to Nicholas Kelly. The woman is literally turning her 1,000+ something kitchen into a green light lab. Yo, she got an ill kitchen. Turn that joint into a meth lab quick. Ventar said, also, do you think Crisis will merge Black Lightning, Supergirl, and Flash into one universe? I hope not. I hope not, Ventar. Here's why. Black Lightning is the last show that I'm watching on CW. I'm sorry. I really loved season 1 and 2 of Flash and Arrow. I really loved season 1 of Supergirl. Everything following that has been diminishing returns for me, and I don't even watch them anymore. The only thing I watch is Black Lightning, and I actually enjoy the fact that he is not involved in any of that stuff. And I would rather them leave it how it is, because Black Lightning is doing fine as a show. You know what I'm saying? They are doing fine. The music is still on point. The acting is still on point. You still hate all the villains. You still love all the heroes. You still love the complexities and the grays with people like Gambi or Lynn, even issues with Khalil. You know, the show is just continuing to have a better shelf life than the other shows, for me. Corey Toom says, LOL, that CW corniness did kick in quick, though, with that after-show speech Jen gave at the end. We can't escape. Oh, boy. Jen, you know how Jen is. Jen be wanting to make her statements. Jen always want to make a speech. Remember, she was at school talking about, like, we shouldn't be fighting each other. Like, Jen always be trying to she be talking about her sister is Harriet. Yo, she be thinking, she be wanting to, like, give her speeches too. All right, she be getting her soapbox ready. All right, don't front like she don't. Big shout out to Nicholas Kelly says, because had Jefferson or Anissa dropped in that main house, they would have been like, what in the actual? And yeah, you right. They would have been, what in the actual F is going down? Also, Corey Toom says, Lynn is a whole meme now. They got her trapping out in the apartment. Siam says, well, at least we got to see Earth 1 version of Jefferson and family. Yes. That was a sad scene to see how Odell is. And I think this is good for Jennifer to see exactly how, Odell is and the depths which Odell can go. I think that she has seen, or Odell has placed himself in her life as a kind of stern uncle. And I think she's starting to see the stark realities and the harsh, actions that he is willing to take, especially against her family, and Metas in general. Big shout out to Nicholas Kelly. Says, true, but not to the extent that we all know Jen could have. She tried to be respectful because of her mom, but had it been me, I would have done Tobias proud in my reading skills. Oh boy. Corey goes on to say, I think we oughta consider this is a special, even episode, more part of the season. Personally, I consider this week's episode to be the mid-season finale. Yeah, to a certain degree, it is. It even has a feel where it's kind of slowing down and giving us a time to chill. We don't get that much with the Resistance. It's more centered around the family and more so with Jen. My question to you is, do you see any of the major pieces of the Resistance falling or any major pieces of the ASA falling in the very next episode. When I say major pieces, I mean Henderson, Pastor, Two Bits, or yeah, that's about it because nobody in the family is going to die. I doubt that. Also, another question is Khalil. Where does he end up? Where does that place him? Where does he go? Where does he find himself? And then on the ASA side, you know, General Eddie Munster, where does she land? Where does Odell land? Can Odell die? Ventar says, if anyone will make Lynn hear and deal with consequences, it will be Gamby, because he will tell everyone what they need to hear, no matter what, whether they want to or not, and no matter who it is, I guess, to that extent. Nicholas says, do you think that since Jennifer has been made into pure energy due to the antimatter, do you think we can get her back into her corporal form should Jeff survive the crisis? Yes. Jen is too large a part of the show to just be like kind of drifting. I do see her drifting for maybe like an episode after the crisis, but it'll come back together. I don't see her. It's not like she's going to be gone until season 4. You know what I'm saying? Therese is in the house. What up? Oh man, he said what up. Can't tune in live yet. He's watching Crisis Part 2. Man, you killing me, Therese. Nicholas Kelly says Jennifer is Rosa Parks while Anissa is Harriet Tubman. Yeah, word up. I feel you. So back on the whole part of Jennifer, the thing that I like here is that hopefully when she does come back, Jennifer can come and be the glue, the catalyst that pulls everybody together and says, look, all right, we need to slow down. The ASA has been playing us. Most especially Odell has been playing us, because these are the things that I've seen from Odell and all the different Earths, and Odell is no different. Dad's different, mom is different, I'm different, and this is different, but Odell is still evil no matter what. And we can't trust this dude. Hopefully that'll pull everybody together. And Gamby's been riding for them forever. I think Khalil got to go. With that said, once they come together and have their discussion, because Jen doesn't know, but I think Khalil gonna have to go, man. It just is what it is. Ventar says, is Odell a major character at all in the comics? You know what? I don't know. I'm not sure. Because I don't remember seeing him, but I haven't read like a gang of Black Lightning stuff either. Like the only time I've ever seen him is in some team up stuff. I know Corey Randolph did covers on his book when they did, I believe, the New 52 or whatever, but I was never reading that book or anything like that. New 52 kind of hurt me to a certain degree, so I didn't follow a lot of it. Let's see. Corey Toon says, I meant last week's episode. Sorry. This episode seems like a special episode in the same way as the holiday episodes. Okay. Now I see where you're coming at. Nicholas Kelly says, and I have to agree with you, I really don't want Black Lightning a part of the Arrowverse because its writing and the characters as a part of the said verse has been on a decline for several years now. True that. True that. True that. The great thing about this episode, even though I do believe it's filler, we get a chance to force the family to deal with each other. And that's what I think we're going to need going forward. We force Lynn and Jeff. Jeff and Anissa have kind of dealt with their stuff. Like, they have difference of opinion, but they don't really have any friction. And then Anissa and Lynn bumped heads. So we're starting to see, or the family is starting to see, Mama tripping. I don't know why Mama tripping, but Mama tripping. Mama on that stuff. Mama on that nose candy. Mama on that white horse. Nicholas Kelly said, Toom said, Corey Toom says, interesting that Eddie Munster had more heart in Earth 1. I wonder if we'll get some personality switches after the crisis. I doubt it. I would doubt it seriously. I wouldn't count on that. Don't hold your breath on that one. Because usually they just put stuff back to even in the other tie-ins, most of the time they kind of just move on without really referencing it or showing any any super ripples from it unless they have to directly reference something. But you don't really see people's actions change as much. Now, big shout out to China. Is it China Ann McClain? I believe that's her name. I'm sorry if I messed it up. Her acting in the Earth One version, where she was so broken because her mama wouldn't come see her in the pit. She was killing it, boy. She brought out some tears. They might have been fake tears, but there was tears, boy. Corey Toom says having Jim bringing the family together would be dope, and it would help the episode better mesh with the season. True. Nicholas Kelly says, but here's the thing about I guess Anissa that should have made Anissa snap on Lynn. After she found out that Lynn already knew about Khalil, but Lynn didn't even care when Anissa mentioned that she nearly died after fighting that monster. Yeah. She would have been like, yo, you ain't even tripping on it? Like, yo, dude killed Tavon, almost killed me. Lynn was just like, yo, look, I'm just trying to get my next fix. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to get mine. You know what I'm saying? Lynn is checked out. Lynn is crazy, and somebody needs to pull her coat tails quick. You know what I'm saying? It's time to pull up. You know what I'm saying? Pull up. Pulling up on you. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Siam said, what did you think about the last scene where you see everyone except Jefferson and obviously Jennifer get wiped out by the antimatter wave? It's just a way to be like, to be continued for me. You know, I'm like, it's because I'm not pumped for Earth Crisis. So I'm trying to tap dance around that because, of course, I don't want to be super negative. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if I don't like something, I just won't cover it. I'll just move on to something that I like. And I'm not interested in the crisis. I haven't watched the other episodes. I don't care how it ends. I don't care how it started. None of that. Big shout out to my boy Kevin Smith out there doing his thing. Going to cover it tomorrow night. Cool. I ain't like, yeah, hey. I don't care. But when that happened, I was just like, oh, okay, cool. They'll get sucked into something. Something will happen. I ain't gonna watch the rest of it. Next time I see them, they'll be back in regular Freeland. Nicholas Kelly said, now I'm just wondering, when is it going to sink in for Lynn? First, you have Odell telling you what he is, what he's going to do in season 2. Then, when both you and Jefferson's butts are locked in the locked in the pit, what do you think? Like, look, she's already on the run, essentially, from the ASA. We know that Odell's dirty. The only reason she really stuck around is because she was hooked on that stuff. Now she trying to cook it herself. Do you think nobody gonna notice in that kitchen? You think nobody gonna be in the kitchen and see that? Like, come on, man. Think in your house. In your house, can somebody cook meth in your kitchen? You not know nothing? Now I know people got schedules, they running around trying to be resistance fighters and stuff, but sooner or later, you're gonna come in the kitchen for a ham sandwich. All right, and you're gonna be like, what is this? All right, so Therese said this live is loaded tonight. What up? I'm glad y'all came through. Vintar says, how would you feel if Khalil got a Winter Soldier like situation where they removed the brainwashing on him, but still treated treated as a murderer, which he technically was? That could provide an interesting turn to his character. I kind of feel bad for Khalil because honestly, Khalil was a good kid. Khalil was a good kid. Smart, running track, minding his business, got a scholarship. He was gonna be kicking it, man. He was minding his business. Like, he got sucked into this world through no fault of his own. I think it would be an interesting turn for his character where you have someone who was good, who sees that he has been manipulated into being a monster, to have to carry the weight of killing his own mother, and then maybe working to try to redeem himself, to redeem his acts, to redeem kind of his soul to himself. I think that would be great. And I love the actor. He's dope. So I'm definitely down for that. Only time will tell. I don't know what they want to do with him right now. He's definitely dope as a villain, but I don't think he stays a villain forever because as smart as he is, even in robot form, sooner or later, something's going to click, or maybe like they're gonna mess up one of the mental brain things or whatever, and he's gonna realize what Odell has done. And I think when he realizes what Odell has done, Odell is gonna have another problem on his hands. Um, uh, Nicholas Kelly said, in the pit for a month, then you don't believe Jefferson when Issa was killed by Odell, and when Tobias tells you the whole entire truth about the ASA and what they worth, you don't listen. Yep. Lynn, straight up, Nicholas, with that, you right. Lynn has had chance after mother chance, all right? She's had mad chances. And for some reason, she's just like, nope, you know what? You know what it is? This is what it is. Lynn is that person that makes a bad decision and knows that it's a bad decision, but doesn't want to say sorry or doesn't want to apologize. So now they have to double down because now they don't want they don't want to have to eat crow. So now she has to double down on the dumbness because she doesn't want to just admit, be like, look, I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to do that. So since you don't want to do that, now you got to double down on the dumbness and act like you don't know nothing. Let's see. Corey Toom says they finna send Khalil to Legends of Tomorrow with all the other support in the Arrowverse. Corey, don't do that. Corey, don't do that to me. Corey, I do not want to see Khalil on. Okay. This is no diss to anyone who likes Legends of Tomorrow. There are aspects of Legends of Tomorrow that I enjoy. I do like the fact that you have a show that can just be silly for the sake of being silly and doesn't take itself too seriously. That being said, that show is not for me. And I think Khalil and the level of performance that he's given and the storylines he's been in warrant a better send-off than being on Legends of Tomorrow. Yo, man, I'm still mad they put Constantine on that joint, man. Like, yo, don't get me started on Legends, man. Like, don't. Y'all had me up here all night mad about Legends. All right, so shouts to Nicholas Kelly says, don't get me started on Khalil and how Lynn was trying to put on this Captain Save-A-Ho attitude when she's actually doing more harm than good, not to just her family, but the community. Yeah. She's like, but Black Lightning, I do harm to the community. Like, Lynn, then be like, we can't kill him. Ain't you been working for Odell? Ain't you been over here doing all this? Lynn, if you don't shut up, first, Lynn, you made me go to my high voice. So you know you're doing wrong. Whenever someone makes you be like, I know you ain't, when someone makes you go there, then you know they doing wrong. Like, people don't go to their high voice for no reason. All right. Big shout out to Ventar says, Legends of Tomorrow cast is what happens when they realize they don't know how to write you into the story, but still want you as an actor. You know what? I'll agree with that. I will agree with that because there's actually Legends of Tomorrow actually has some pretty cool characters, but Legends of Tomorrow is like, I don't even know if they know what they're doing. They're just like, yo, we want a show where we can play dress up every week and do something silly. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me started on Wally West and oh God. Oh, so Siam says, just like to say, it would be great to see Jefferson Pierce lead the Arrowverse version of the Justice League. That could work. He's probably the oldest hero, probably the wisest. Since he has a family, I ain't gonna count that. I ain't gonna count that Oliver stuff. Since he has a family, he's been a dad. He's been the person that's been the main one that had to lead by example and to protect people. So I can see that. I can see that as a logical choice for him being the leader. Do I want that? Yo. All right, let's look at the villains in the Arrowverse that we've had. Okay. You start out, you got Arrow. Arrow's looking good. Good show. We got a good villain. We got Everything seems fine. You got Malcolm. He's doing his thing. All right. Then you get not Deathstroke. You get no, hold up. Did you get Deathstroke? Was Deathstroke next, or was it who came? No, Deathstroke was next. Great stuff. Everything cool. You look at the Flash, Reverse Flash. Everything's good. You look at Supergirl, like, but somehow, some way, in the second and or third season, because Arrow and Flash first two seasons was straight flit aims. Somehow they just turn into villains where it's like it don't matter. In season 3 of Black Lightning, I still hate Tobias. Tobias is still a threat. I still hate Odell. Odell is still a threat. Even General Eddie Munster is kind of a threat. I mean, she's crazy. She looks very off-putting, but she's still a threat. And then you have outside influences like Lala, secondary villains like Lala. You got stuff like Khalil. People that pose. I think the difference is in Black Lightning, I actually believe that Tobias will kill somebody because he has multiple times. When it comes to the after season 2 and season 3, 4, stuff like that with Arrow and Flash, the villains have seemed softer. It seemed like they've gotten. It's like they're villains, but they're just like they ain't that villainous. Except, was it season before last? On Arrow, the dude that set the dude on fire on the roof, that dude won't play him. Now that dude was a real villain. All right, somebody that burned a man alive on the roof. Now that dude is a villain. But most of the other cats, like even when you had the thing with Ra's al Ghul, it didn't really pan out. It just didn't end up being that dope. And then they misuse your boy Diggs, man. Diggle is way too dope. They misused Michael Jai White in the joint, and don't even get me started. So big shout out. Let's see. Nicholas Kelly says, "Here's what I think will happen with Jennifer and Khalil. Will face off against each other. Painkiller will try to swing on her. Jen dodges, shorts out the chip, and slap shocks the living. I don't know how you would try to end that." But I guess she slap shocks the living ish out of him. I don't know. Ventar Madness said, "I'd rather an Arrowverse Outsiders than Justice League, but that's my opinion." Either one can work for me. I can see either one working if they really care about it. In a lot of these shows, they seem like they're just writing it now because they're like, yo, we know heroes are hot, so let's just write it. And it's a bunch of melodrama. Big shout out to Corey Toombs. Nicholas, I came up with the most CW outcome of Jen versus Painkiller. He said first it's going to be Painkiller versus Black Lightning. Black Lightning going to get takeout. Then Jen going to come through with Phoenix Force, lose control of her powers. Then Brandon going to come absorb her energy for the combo of petty romance. Ain't nobody messing with you, man. Shouts to Nicholas Kelly says, slap the hell. Slap shocks the living hell of the backside of his head. Then she will say, "I will always put a shock to your system." And just as Khalil comes up for a bit and the memories start to flood in, I can see him having a mental breakdown from all the horrors and murders he caused. And then Mike just lash out fully on the ASA, and by extension, Lynn when she walks in the streets. All right, I see where you're going. I see where you're going. The slap in the back of the head. I mean, that is where the chip is thing. He's like, how? But I don't think it's going to happen like that. I do think she shorts out the chip with a shot. I think she's fighting Painkiller. Brandon comes in to protect her. Brandon gets killed, makes her go Phoenix Force, shocks the dude. Khalil's like, "Oh snap, I'm alive, son." And then he's like, "That's it." I don't look, man. Hey, look, you ain't give me a chance to write nothing down. All right, I'm just saying that's where I think we going. Ventar Madness says, "Who's Eddie Munster again?" Oh, Eddie Munster. Eddie Munster is the general chick under Odell. She, Jen called her Eddie Munster like 2 or 3 episodes ago. So I've just been running with it for a minute. Also, big shout out to everyone in the chat. Thank you for coming through. Make sure to hit that thumbs up if you like what you're seeing. Hit that thumbs down if you don't. But if you hit that thumbs down, I'm going to send Odell after you, and you don't want that. All right, look, you see, he can take a gunshot and come back kicking. He was like laid up, but he was still like, yo, I'm here though. Nicholas Kelly says, true, but I hope not because that boy, has too much respect and skill for that. Yeah, he ain't gonna go down like that, hopefully. But I do want to see Jen kind of lead the conversation with her family about reconnecting. It's time. It's episode 9. It's time. It's time for y'all to. It's time. Y'all have been split for 9 episodes, and in TV time, I don't know, just like 6 months. It's been a while. TV time is weird, so you never really know. But it's been long enough. It's time. She's seen where her choices can lead her. She's seen what Odell is like, the true Odell, and what he's willing to do. It's time for her it's time for the family to get back together. Hashtag Black family, hashtag Black love, hashtag Black lightning. You know what I'm saying? It's time for the Black family to get back together. Come on, Greg Berlanti. We on there. I know y'all want to see the Black family fighting, but no, we a unit, son. We're a unit. We come back strong. You know what I'm saying? Look, it's time for the Black family to come back together. I'm just saying, it's time. I want to see her lead the conversation. I want to see Anissa drop Blackbird and assume Thunder permanently from now on. I think showing Thunder and Black Lightning together on the streets fighting for the rebellion changes the optics in the eyes of the public because they saw them fighting together before. So I think seeing her completely dropping Blackbird changes things tremendously as far as like a hope kind of thing. And Mama just need to get smacked upside the head, straight up. All right, Lynn, stop it. All right, stop it. Big shout out to Nicholas Kelly. Oh man, Nicholas Kelly said, man, Nicholas, you coming with it tonight. Nicholas Kelly says, and now that we have in suspected Breon Markov in form of Brandon, since we've seen in the past episodes that when his and Jen's powers collide, they made lava, and he tried to pull a super Saiyan when he found out that Jace wasn't in the area. Look, man, we don't need no powers combining right now. All right, we don't need that right this second. And plus, he was looking dumb in the face last episode. I don't know, maybe he was high. Brandon need to chill. Curls need to chill out. Big shout out to Corey Toombs. Said, Black Lightning is written by Black people with the way they give these characters nicknames. Eddie Munster, Ghetto Glowworm, Bruce Leroy. I can't. I need to know who writes Tobias's line. Tobias, he be having the ill lines, B. I mean, he's a rapper as well. Maybe he writes, maybe he helped pen some of them own joints. But yeah, big shout out to the Achilles, Salim, and I cannot remember her name. Mara. Salim and Mara Brock-Akil. They, I believe, are the showrunners, and there's tons of dope writers on Black Lightning. But man, they be coming with it. They be coming with it from the lines to the music. This show is actually a much blacker show than I would expect to see on CW, for multiple reasons. But yeah, guys, that's it. This episode, fillery in ways, definitely fillery in ways, but not mad at it because of the character work that we got in Jen. We got to see her act in ways that we haven't seen her act before. We've seen her seem way more vulnerable. She got to really flex her skills on this when she's been kind of like, in kind of like a single mode the whole season. So that was nice. Also getting to a breaking point with the family where they're starting to actually bump up against each other and actually have conversations. I'm here for that. So episode as a whole, it's not my favorite this season. I think it was a necessary one. I don't think the Crisis tie-in made it any better though. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to raise things. I don't think it raised anything, but maybe I could be wrong. Maybe it helped raise the awareness of Jen. You know what I'm saying? Help raise her awareness about who Odell is. And he is not this person to be trusted. Um, so big shout out to everyone before we get up out of here. Much love. Thank you to Corey Toombs, Siam Krishan, I think. Hopefully I'm not screwing up your name. But Siam, Nicholas Kelly. We had Therese come through, Ventar Madness. Yo, the chat, y'all was wilding today, man. Thanks for coming through and hanging with a brother. Cause y'all was tripping, especially on y'all. Man, yo, I'm loving y'all stories. I'm loving y'all stories with the whole with Jen and your boy Khalil and your boy Curls, aka Brandon. Yo, slapping him, slap shocking him in the back of the head. Look, only y'all can write this. I'm just saying, y'all writing doper episodes right now than some of the other CW episodes. I'm just saying. But thank you for coming through. I have been chilling, having a wonderful time with this season. This episode seemed like a slowdown, but I guess I kind of understand why. You got to tie in and figure out a way to be part of the tie-in while not filming where the other shows film. So I understand that. But do I still dig the show? Yeah. And am I ready for them to get into the nittiest of gritty with what Lynn is, where Lynn's going, and what she's going to be in this family, to this family, and for this family? Yes. Because Lynn needs to get off that stuff. So, guys, thank you for coming through. Holla at me. I'm going to holla at you. Down in them comments. Let's talk Black Lightning. Yo, man, this show, like I said, I have no idea. You know what? I'll end y'all off with this. This is my final question for y'all. Where do you see this season ending? Does the ASA still have control of Freeland? Are the Markovians still in Freeland or still around Freeland? Is Tobias still alive? Is Khalil still alive? Where is our family as far as the Pearsons are concerned at the end of this season? Because right now it does have me in a situation where I think everything's up for grabs. You know what I'm saying? I think we're in a situation where it's kind of anybody's game right now, which I like. Big shout out to Nicholas Kelly. Said Lynn nearly made Tobias a super meta. She was literally deciding it. Yeah, she was thinking about that joint. Like, maybe I'll give him camouflage powers. Like, you stupid. Also, how like Tobias be asking for stuff? No, like, you know, when you get in trouble, like, dude is in the pit. You know when you in trouble and you're not supposed to ask for stuff. Like, you know, like your mama was mad at you and you ain't asked to go to like the movies because you knew you was in trouble. This dude is literally in jail and like, yo, how about you give me more powers though? Like, you can't ask for stuff when you're in trouble. Well, I mean, not if you Tobias, boy. Tobias do what he want to do. Big shout out to Therese. Said I'm watching and I see they doing the multiverse thing on here. Hopefully this doesn't stick to the show and it's only for this crossover thing. Yeah, man. Yeah, I think it's only for this. They might do a crossover again next year with it, but I don't know. Big shout out to Siam. Yo, glad you came through, man. Nice to see you. But yeah, that's my question. Where do you see the show ending up? Do you see our family back together? Do you see our family split? Do you see Lynn alive? You know what I'm saying? Lynn could take a L, man. This green light stuff could take over her and she could OD. Or does she mess around and get powers, you know, unbeknownst to her and end up, you know, becoming her own super villain or superhero? You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Nicholas Kelly. Said I predict that the Markovians will still be in Freeland, but as for the ASA, their whole operation is already in the can, so I don't see them lasting long. Yeah, man, they ain't got nothing but the pit left, and it all depends on how this play for turning the other metas against the rebellion, which I'm not sure how that'll work for them because they might cut them off. Because of course, Anissa said, you know, she has a plan. She went upstairs. I don't know why she went upstairs. She went out the door. But maybe she had to go upstairs to grab her clothes and then go outside, go change real quick and then, get out there to fight and crime. Nicholas Kelly said, because we still need to get Halo and the reemergence of Looker should things turn sideways. Yeah, good point on that one. Nice, good point on that one. Oh, also big shout out to Jin, straight up not hitting Jin when they were fighting each other. Like I know they tried to cut the shot. She won't even touch it. She won't even close. And did you notice like the other Jin that was wearing white? She ain't even. She tried to act like she cared that they was fighting, but she won't. She was like, guys, stop fighting, guys, don't. Oh no, don't punch each other. Oh guys, she was. She did not care that much. Shouts to Nicholas Kelly. Shouts to Corey Toombs who said, I've been on the Lynn having powers ever since she popped her first tab. Tobias alluded to a super suit too. Yeah, he did. So you never know, man. You never know. So guys, holla at me. I'm gonna holla at you. Down in them comments. Let's talk Black Lightning. Still loving the show. I think this is just a small slowdown. You know how you don't come to a full stop before you hit that right turn. You know how it says stop, but you just be like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? You just be like, okay, let's roll. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is just a like pulling to the stop sign, slowed up a little bit, slowed up, and then they go and pull on off. So I think next episode we'll be back because we won't have none of this crisis dumbness to try to tie into, and we can just have our show back how it's supposed to be. Shout outs to, of course, all of my Patreon subscribers. Big shout out to Enrique Carrion. Big shout out to Thought Crimes Prince and Sin. Big shout out to Tim I for helping to build NERDSoul. Big shout out to, of course, Geek Fine Art behind me. Big shout out to all you guys for coming through and watching. Make sure to hit that thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe and watch the show. If you don't like watching it, if you be like, I don't like this face, I don't like your milk dirty head, then listen to my podcast. If you don't like the podcast, then you're gonna have to just send the ambulance after me. Just yeah. So if you don't like the podcast, still play the podcast, but just put it on mute so you don't have to hear me, but then you can still support your brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, so it's smart. It's smart. Or you can put it on YouTube and press play, but just open another tab, but just play it. And then, you help me out. Even put a thumbs down. Be like, I don't like it, but just watch it. Just put play, and then you can hold me down. But before I get out, Nicholas Kelly says, let's not forget we still haven't seen or heard anything from the Purdy farm. Because didn't Khalil mark them when he was still getting trapped behind the barrier a few episodes back? I don't know. Maybe, but that's also not a priority for him right now. So I don't know. I don't think the Purdy are in trouble right now like that. So I don't know. I don't think they're in trouble. I think they're cool for right now. I think they're off to the side. So guys, thank you for coming through. It's nice to see all y'all sunshiny faces once again. Shout out to Nicholas Kelly, Ventor Madness, Siam Krishan, Corey Toombs, Therese, all you guys. Thank you for coming through. Big shout out to Alan Lewis, Christmas 808, Little Miss Chocolate, Vivi. Much love to all y'all. And of course, the awesome and wonderful team here from like Arcatron to C Brown for NERDSoul Gaming. All y'all, much love. Until next time, which will be tomorrow night, we'll be talking. What are we going to do tomorrow night? What are we going to do tomorrow night? Yeah, we'll talk about some trailers tomorrow night because we got mad trailers. We got 007, got Wonder Woman, got Ghostbusters. So tomorrow night, we'll talk some trailers. But until then, it's for me to you saying, peace. Worst come to worst, my peoples come first. Yeah, come on. I said, worst come to worst, my peoples come first. What? Yeah, I said, worst come to worst, my peoples come first. What? I said, worst comes to worst, my peoples come first. Come on, come on, let's go, what? I said, peace. Corey Toombs, yeah, I said, peace. Nick Kelly, yeah, I said, peace. Siam Chris Sean, yeah, I said, peace. To Therese, yeah, I said peace. Yo, man, Venture Madness, all y'all be cool, man. We out. Peace.